Hey everybody, today on Startup Chuck, I'm going to my friend Dale's paragliding shop. I'm going to be trying to print him up some custom 3D printed feet so that he can use them to sew paragliding lines. And we'll just see how it goes. Essentially, I'm going to do my FDM printer versus an SLA printer and try a couple of different filaments and see whether or not it works out. So let's get to it. We are at my friend Dale's shop and we're going to go basically recreate the sewing machine feet he has on his Bernina. These are the Bernina feet. They're kind of interesting. Very pricey. They're like 50 bucks a pop. And all we need is the bottom foot part, this little guy that wiggles. And so, perfect application for 3D printing. He needs a little groove in the bottom of each one, depending on what paragliding line size he's sewing. And so I'm basically just gonna make a model up and then cut a bunch of different grooves in it in the model, print them all up, and then he can test them out, and hopefully they should work out. At the very least, they're way easy to replace, less than $50, and he should be able to have a nice supply of them. All right, so I've got my IGUS Dryline I-70 material in here. It's a tribo filament. We're basically gonna try and print with that instead of just the PLA that I was printing before, because this stuff is very low wear. It's got Teflon inside of it, plus a bunch of other stuff. I actually don't know what the base polymer is, but it melts between 240 and 260 C. Either way, we're gonna see how it does on this bed. So if you've never printed a temp tower before, basically it's gonna print from the highest temperature select. Here's 270, and then 5-degree increments all the way to 240. And you always want to double check that, you come over and you're going to select temperature, and then it's going to essentially show you all the different tower sections are in different temperatures. And it's great because this will tell you which one of these will give you stringing in areas like this cone tower, or how your overhangs will do, things like that. So overall, it's a pretty slick trick. First, I tried printing with the iGlide Triboline filament, but couldn't get it to print, and it was very brittle. So then I backed up to my SLA printer and printed it out of some hard resin, and that seemed to work out pretty well. Here you can see him spinning around on the carousel. After that, I went back to the PLA and ended up getting these feet all printed up. So now we had something to test with. All right, I'm here with Dale Covington, owner of Big Sky Paragliding, and he's the guy I made the custom sewing machine feet for. So Dale, why did we make these feet?
Because we're trying to sew paraglider line as accurately as we can. We need it to be centered and in this foot, and we're trying to get very specific stitch pattern on the line, and it'll be different for each diameter of line. So that's why we have all these different size grooves in these feet. I don't know anybody who's done this, so we'll see if it works.
Yeah, so we're gonna try it out, and he's got a couple of different machines. He's got a Bernina and then other industrial sewing machine, and we're gonna just
that's basically
check it out.
An old Bernina.
And the big thing that I'm interested in is these live hinge feet, where there is no pivot point, and so we're going to see how those hold up compared to the ones that had a little bit of a pivot in them, like this guy. So hopefully all right. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that worked beautiful. It's looking beautiful. pretty well. I'm happy with how the regular feet turned out on the FDM printer. The SLA printer had a little bit more of a tacky feel to it, and I tried to print with the IGUS dryline material, but it was just far too brittle. So it seems like that material is best if you use it as a bushing, but it cannot be used structurally. Or maybe just the one I have, the material I have is really old. It could just be from that. I don't know. If it had worked, I think it would have worked really well because it has a very low friction coefficient. But since I just couldn't get it to work, those are the breaks. So I think 3D printed sewing machine feet are neat. It may not work as well or slide as easy as the metal ones, so I got to play with that a bit more, maybe try some different resins. But it's a good starting point, and hopefully it'll give some inspiration to somebody else. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.